Hello FPL managers and welcome back to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. As always, we're going to be having a brief look at how my team got on in Game Week 36 before moving on to my team, my transfers, and my captain ahead of Game Week 37. Let's get into it. Okay, so last game we decided to take a -4, took out Maguire, Greenwood, and Vardy, and I brought in Coleman, Rafinha, and Kane. So, -4, but I did bring in some half-decent points, especially in Rafinha and Kane. Obviously, with that Leeds match, I was hoping for a little bit more from Rafinha with just the assist from 3 goals. Obviously, hoping more from Bamford as well. And, Dallas had a couple of opportunities himself. Kane cannot complain with a nice 8-point return. Went for Coleman. It was pretty much a hit, really, for Maguire to Coleman. That didn't pay off. I'm 2 points down on that. I do have Coleman for the rest of the season. I don't know really whether I'm going to start him or not. On balance, I thought that Everton had a great chance for a clean sheet against Sheffield United, and there was some upside there with the potential attacking returns from Coleman as well. So I thought it was probably worth the -4 on balance. In the end, it didn't pay off, but I'm not going to beat myself up too much about 2 points. As you can see, though, I did get a massive green arrow. Went from 988th to 987th. So just the one place gain. But hey, look, it's a green arrow and not going to knock it. Hopefully, I can cling on to a top 1K over the last couple of game weeks. So this is how my team is shaping up for Game Week 37. Overall, pretty happy with it. I know, a few people are looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, and I don't really understand that move, to be honest. He's obviously not been in fantastic form the last few matches, but he was in great form, and his underlying numbers haven't really changed too much. So, and obviously West Ham have got a nice couple of fixtures to finish with. So, for me, I think that he's definitely a hold unless you don't have anything else to do with the rest of your team. Then potentially you could look to move him on. Obviously, the big thing that I need to correct here is Diego Jota. So, we're going to come to Diego Jota replacements very shortly. But yeah, across the rest of the team, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. At the back, I think it looks fairly strong. I've got Coleman on the bench, who I think is a strong option as well. Wolves looking a little bit toothless at the moment. Iheanacho also on the bench there. He's got a difficult match against Chelsea away. I think I'm probably going to keep him on the bench. In terms of the captain, I think it's a really difficult decision this week. I think you can make a case for going Salah, Fernandes, or Kane. Often when I really can't decide which captain to go for, I'll take a little look at the defenses that they're playing. And so this is over the last 10 game weeks, and I've sorted this by expected goals conceded per appearance over the last 10 game weeks. So it gives you an idea of the teams that you should potentially look to target. So as you can see there, according to this metric, Sheffield United have the worst defence. They have expected to concede on average 2.3 goals per game over the last 10 game weeks, or specifically the 9 games that they have played. The teams that we're particularly interested in here are Burnley, Fulham, and Aston Villa. And as you can see, Burnley, according to this metric, have the worst defence out of those 3. But to be honest, there isn't a massive difference here. It's not like Burnley are second and Villa and Fulham have a much better defensive record. They're pretty close. So, I think this gives an indication that the teams that they're playing against are fairly equal. There isn't sort of a really bad defence amongst Burnley, Fulham and Villa, which you potentially could look to target. The other thing that's probably worth mentioning on the captaincy very quickly is that, of course, fans are going to be back in the stadium for Game Week 37, which means that, Fernandes and Kane potentially have a bit of an advantage because they're playing at home. Salah's going to be playing away against, Burnley, who are going to have their fans back in the stadium and will be wanting to see a good performance from them. On balance, again, I think it's a really difficult call this game. I think there's an argument to be made for all 3 of them, but I'm still edging towards Mo Salah. Okay, so now we're going to have a quick look at Diego Jota replacements. We're going to have a look at midfielders under 8 million. And again, we're going to be having a look over the last 10 game weeks in particular. And again, I've sorted by expected points. So just a reminder that expected points are sort of a summary of all the key stats, and look at how many points how many FPL points they were expected to get. And I've done this per start. So how many points they're expected to get per start over the last 10 game weeks. So as you can see there, Phil Foden coming out on top on this matrix. He was expected to have scored 6.8 points per start over the last 10 game weeks. As you can see, though, also that he's only started 2 games, so very, very small sample size. I would take that figure with a big pinch of salt. I think the one that is the most obvious pick here and makes the most sense is Greenwood. You know, he's been playing really well. He's been getting a lot of goals. He's got really, really impressive numbers across the board. These are his predicted points over the last couple of game weeks, which are very strong. Again, he's got good fixtures. He's got good numbers. He's similar price to Jota. He's got Fulham at home and then Wolves away. So if you already have Greenwood, or maybe you can't quite stretch to 7.2 million, then I think potentially you could look at Ferran Torres. I do think that he is an option. Obviously, you're gambling with pet roulette. But, you know, if you've got a decent bench and you think that Torres has a good chance of starting the last 2 game weeks, then he could be a massive differential. And he's shown, you know, at the weekend that he can score really big. So I think there are definitely worse punts to go for. Okay, so I'm obviously going to leave it as late as possible to make that transfer, just in case we get any more injury news. But my transfer is highly likely to be Diego Jota to Greenwood. I realise that I've only just got rid of Greenwood, but I didn't feel great about getting rid of him. So I almost feel a little bit relieved that I've got an excuse to get Greenwood back into the frame, because I think he's a great option for the last couple of game weeks. If you did enjoy this video, then please do drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. But otherwise, good luck for Game Week 37, and I'll see you on the other side for the final game week of the season. Bye for now.